Welcome to the Bookers Alliance podcast, where we hold the pencil and the pencil is power. Coming at you right now is your host, Marky Mark, along with the man, the myth, the legend, Frank Donaldson. Join us as we discuss the ever-changing landscape of professional wrestling. So hang on tight, you jabronis, and enjoy the ride. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for joining today's episode of the Bookers Alliance podcast. Come on inside the house, bring yourself up a ringside seat, get your soda, your popcorn, your whiskey, get everything you need. Like, I'm going to need this apology. I'm about this apology. Just say sorry.
Okay.
Just say sorry, damn it. Just say it.
So you're talking to Triple H?
Maybe.
Yeah. He definitely owes us an apology for some of this recent booking, but there's a long way to go in this conversation. So let's get into let's follow the format. Let's follow the format.
All right, format. We got to give a shout out to our sponsor this week, Crown Royal Marquis, or some would say Marquise.
No one else would say that. No one north of the Mason would say that. Let's put it like that. I'll give you that one.
Crown Royal Marquis, blended Canadian whiskey, finished in rum casks, 40%. Let's give it a taste, but give a toast.
Uh-oh, who we toasting now?
Cody Rhodes.
Wait, why?
New WWE champion.
Oh, Cody Hogan.
Cody
All
Hogan.
right.
Politicking with the best of them.
Mm-hmm. Goodness.
Let's go ahead and talk about it, as Trick would say.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
We don't really need to talk about that. I mean, everybody listening to this knows what's going on there.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of, we called that one way ahead of time. We knew that was coming. If the option was to be Cody versus Randy over Drew versus Randy, obviously we're going to go with Cody versus Randy.
We definitely are. I mean,
it's no slight to Drew. Drew, your work rate is great. Your wrestling has been great. Your promos have been great. We all know your Twitter work, your troll level is exponential. But the better story going into Mania is Cody versus Randy.
We got over 20 years of history here. Now, don't get me wrong. Cody and Drew definitely got some past history that they, could get into, but they chose not to. But again, as if we're being honest, nobody remembers that. Everybody remembers what Cody and Randy got brewing, and it has been brewing for the better part of a year. So it's time to finally pay it off.
So, any chance we still get a triple threat or a four-way for this thing? Any chance?
Definitely not a four-way. I don't know. If they don't start selling some tickets, we might get a three-way. there may be a complete change-up. We might dig up the Iron Sheik and get him to come out there and wrestle Cody Rhodes here with what's going on in the world as we speak. I mean, we tried it in 7. Why not try it again in 42, right?
Look, the Cody versus Randy story, I'm intrigued. I'm interested. You got me hooked. Just like another story, you got me hooked on CM Punk versus Roman, but that's a tale for a little bit later on. But
apparently you got CM Punk versus the Bloodline right now. Apparently he's going to take them all on because he's speaking of digging up.
Yeah.
But I digress.
So with Cody versus Randy, I'm cool with the story. They're definitely gonna draw back on some history. I don't see this one going the way a lot of people are thinking it's going to go, though.
Oh, what are you thinking?
I'm really thinking you could potentially see Cody walking out with the belt. I think so, but
the more I thought about it, the more I think you were onto something a couple of weeks ago when you said
Randy winning and chasing.
Yeah, Randy winning and then Cody going away for a while. I think we get a summer away from Cody, because let's be honest, he just had a baby recently. He's got a growing family. It looks like he's working on signing a new contract. So I think it's a good time to let him go away and freshen up a little bit.
So that's my hope. I still hope we wind up in that direction because honestly, I think that's the better story. Again, we're going to take the story we're going to build for WrestleMania. We're going to compound on that and build the story back better and bigger than ever for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So I really do hope that happens. However, I do think there might be a underlying story developing, and if they do it right and lean into it right, they might have something. And let me explain myself. So there's a minority of Cody crybabies that have been going, look, I want Cody to turn heel. It's time. It's time.
Yeah.
Homelander, let's see it. I want to do it, right? But everybody keeps going, man, they'll never turn Cody. They're never going to turn Cody, just like they never turned John. The merch sales are too hot, this, that, and the other. He's the face. He's on ESPN. He's on this podcast, that podcast. He's too it's going to be no way you can turn him. Right. There's no way the WWE can turn him. I really think if Cody hangs on to this thing at Mania, I think the fans turn on him. And that might be WWE's excuse as an accelerant to go ahead and light the fuse and turn him. It's possible.
Yeah, I mean, anything's possible, especially with the product we're looking at right now. I mean, I think everything's in a flux, and it looks like they're scrambling any way possible to get some heat somewhere to get Mania exciting. But and don't get me wrong, it would be great. I just don't think it's going to be the right time because, again, and we touched on this a couple of weeks ago too, or maybe even last week, 99% of people are confident that Roman's walking away from night 2 as world heavyweight champion, right? You would agree there? So that goes back into what I mentioned before. Now you're running Cody against Roman as the two top dogs of the respective shows, Roman's being on the bigger show. At that point, you're running a risk of taking some of the shine off of Cody if you got him running alternate Roman, because Roman's gonna do better than what Cody's been doing if history proves anything, right? Now, there could be some alternate existence where Roman sucks as world champion because he's on his own, but I think he grew out of that. I think those were in the big dog days, right?
Right.
I think in the tribal chief days, on his own is what the fans have been longing for since we got the tribal chief way back in pandemic era. And I think he's going to pay off in dividends being a face world champ alone. And trying to run Cody against that, being face or heel, I think it's going to take a whole lot of that shine off of the Cody figure that we got right now, because he's going to get overshadowed.
He would get overshadowed if both of them are still holding the belt at the same time. I do agree with that. But that's the cloak of darkness. That's the reason to keep him as champ, though. Let him get overshadowed. And subtly, once the fans start kind of just going back and gets the grain on him and going, you know what, I'm tired of you with the belt. I'm ready to see you get your ass kicked, you know. Maybe that is the catalyst that WWE will go, now's the time. Let's turn him. Let's turn him.
It could be, but that ain't Triple H style of booking.
It's not. And that's why I'm hoping somewhere, some way, not Punk, but a voice of the voiceless gets in that writing room. Not Punk.
Well, hell,
but somebody gets in that writing room.
Credit. We're losing people in the writing room every week now, so I don't see any new voices coming in, but I do see a lot of old voices heading out. So I don't know if we're going to get any new blood in there.
Plus, you know, listen, that Cody's admitted himself, you know, there is a certain level of politics that he's willing to play behind the scenes.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
And like, okay, you know, he's like, he leaned into it though. He's like, I grew up in it. He's like, that's what you're supposed to do. Okay, cool. That's old school though. That's old school wrestling. That works in old school wrestling. I don't know if we're in old school wrestling anymore, because old school wrestling used to be, hey, what's best for the business? Well, now it's what's best for the business, but it ain't got nothing to do with storylines, ratings, or views. It's about that bottom line. TKO is pulling the punches now.
Well,
so it's like, does TKO subscribe to that old wrestler mentality where, you know, politicking, you know, they're going to do what's best for everything, this, that? I don't know. To me, Cody leaning into the whole politics thing, cool. I'm down with that, because I'm sorry. You mistaken if you think Roman don't lean into it, because he does. I mean, hell, everybody does.
Well, so they definitely do, but I think it shows that the business has never changed. I think it shows it's always been that way. Because think about when Hogan was on top, right? There was a point in time when Hogan was nearing that 40-year-old age where he was starting to not be the top guy anymore, but yet he wasn't willing to give it up. Hogan still held on and said, hey, I'm the man, I'm going to be the man, and I'm going to hang around here a little bit longer. And Cody and Roman and Charlotte and a whole bunch of other people over there, LA Knight, Randy Orton, blah, 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 they're all of that same age right now, and they're all at the top of the card. So I don't see where it's any different than 97 at this point. It looks just like NWO days. It looks just like Attitude Era days. It looks just like everything I've always known in wrestling, because
Okay.
it looks like the top guys aren't giving up those positions. They're going to hold on to what they got because they got it. They're getting the top contracts. There's no difference there. But even further back, when Vince said in 84, hey, you know what? Or 83, 82, I'm going to run all these other guys out of the business. I'm going to take the top guys and bring them over here. That was just him doing what was best for business and wasn't best for the sport, which is what you just said the wrestlers are doing now and the business is doing. That's all TKO's doing. TKO's saying, hey, we got the top guys. We got the biggest advertising. We got the biggest machine behind it. We're going to push the hell out of it and make all the money we can. Wrestling ain't changed none. Wrestling never changes. Wrestling's cyclical. It's always been the same. It's just different players in the different positions.
They always say history repeats itself.
Absolutely. So, and those who don't know it are doomed to repeat it, which is what's happening now. The fact that we know it and we can sit here and spout it off just says, hey, we peep game. We see what you got going on here, but doesn't mean that we're not going to call it out when you flub up sometimes, and that's going to happen too. I mean, hell, the WCW was on a roll. They had every cylinder was firing on perfect velocity until one of them had a misfire. One misfire in that engine, and WCW closed 2 years later.
That misfire was called AOL.
Yeah, well, it was called AOL.
AOL
It was
Time
called
Warner.
Creative Control. It was called Hulk Hogan. There's a lot of different.
I'm saying, could the misfire for WWE be TKO?
It could be. It could be Cody Rhodes. It could be Triple H. It could be Roman Reigns. It could be anything, right? All the same got the same thing. Hogan was the guy. WCW wasn't jack before Hogan got there. Hogan got there. All of a sudden, they were the biggest wrestling company in the world. WWE was flailing and floundering, and hell, AEW popped up for a week or two. AEW was the hottest wrestling company in the world, and then then the damn bell rang, as Bruce Pritchard would say.
He said a week or two.
Yeah, then the bell rang, and we're like, all right, where's the stories? Where's the drama? Where can we sink our teeth into?
Hey, they coming back. They coming back.
No, but so
They got their own streaming platform now.
yeah, they always had it. HBO Max, they've been streaming forever, and apparently Paramount bought them, and I don't know if they're going to last much longer.
AEW is in very dangerous waters.
Well, as far as that goes, but AEW's privately funded. The owner is the funding. So I mean, as long as he ain't running out of money. So let's just call a spade on that. He ain't running out of money.
And I mean, if they've got to go solely to their streaming platform to show Dynamite and Collision and all of that other stuff every week, they will. They'll stay.
They can get a streaming.
They'll stay afloat.
Yeah,
I think you're hitting on some topics though that actually make sense for me. I'm just hoping. I know we're right, but I'm hoping we're wrong. And I hope we're wrong because what made the start of the Triple H era, so to speak, what made it cool was the unpredictability of it.
Yeah.
Especially when The Rock got thrown in as the final boss character.
Yeah.
The unpredictability of it in that moment was what hooked me to WCW when NWO first came on the scene. Yeah. It's what hooked me to ECW when I first discovered it in the mid-90s.
Yeah.
Because it was something completely different than I was getting on any other wrestling television show. So it's the unpredictability.
What AEW's appeal was when it first came out.
Right.
When AEW in 2019,
it was something different.
AEW was lined up to take over WWE because it was different. It was giving you what you weren't getting every week on TV.
But now somebody's done licked all the red off the sucker.
Yeah.
And it ain't unpredictable anymore. I mean, we sit here and
there ain't no more surprises no more.
No, we sat down here and called shot for shot Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, I mean, and so did Stevie Wonder. Hell, he saw it coming a mile away.
Everybody saw it coming. So the fact that you can sit there and do that, that's starting to get into the territory where 2013, 14, 15, in those drudge years where it was hard to watch Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, because everything was...
It was all the same.
Preordained.
Everything was a DQ. You knew how it was going to end at the end of the night.
Yeah, you knew who was going to be champ coming out of every pay-per-view.
And now, even the unpredictability is starting to feel predictable. I guarantee you, starting SmackDown Friday night, when it comes on TV, you're going to start off with a brawl.
Oh, well, yeah, of course, absolutely.
That's the trend now.
Yeah.
You start your show off with hot and heavy with a brawl.
Yeah.
If you would do that every once in a while, cool. But don't do it back to back to back to back.
Well, see, that's the thing. They started, they don't do it, then they do it. Everybody pops for it, and then they're like, oh, hell, they like that.
Let's throw it back in there.
Yeah, let's do it again.
That's some good shit.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, great. It was great 2 weeks ago. It was great when we were there, when we were at SmackDown, and they opened up hot, with Cody attacking Drew. We're like, holy hell, we're ready to go. We're fired up.
Yep.
Well, now they've done it every week since, and it's like, well, seen it, saw it.
Yeah.
Now I don't have to turn in until like 8:30 because I already know what I'm going to get for the first 30 minutes.
Until they throw that whole, hey, we're bringing the first hour to you commercial free.
Yeah, well, right. Then when you get that, then it's like, oh wait, now we got to check it out.
Oh man, damn it! that's the ace in the hole right there.
Yeah,
commercial free first.
That's
hour.
where you hold. You go in it. Well, hell, now they're doing it for Mania. I don't know if you saw, but
ESPN.
they're doing the whole first hour of Mania free. So I was like, well, we'll see the first hour with no problem, and then we'll have to put a little work in. But
night one is first hour ESPN2. No, it's
no, they're both ESPN.
No. That still made it confusing. Night one, first hour is ESPN2. Night two, first hour is ESPN.
I didn't see that. I thought.
Yep.
I thought
no, a lot of people don't catch it. A lot of people gonna be turning in that first hour Saturday night, going, "Where the hell is it?" And
well, luckily they just had to flip around a little bit, and then like you got to hurry up. Remember back in the day where you used to have to call the cable company, and it was like Sunday at 4, and they were closed.
You had to order it.
Yeah, and you used to have to order that shit by Friday.
That's some nostalgia right there.
Boy, those are the days. But yeah, you used to have to order before. If you didn't get that order in on Friday, come Sunday, you were out of luck because they didn't have press on the remote and do some stuff. You had to call on the phone. Then they had the automated phone line, and you had to call in and get on there. Now, I told you I had a hookup back in the day, so my switch would be flipped on Friday before somebody left work. Thank God to Shelly. Big ups to Shelly wherever you are out there. Appreciate you.
So yeah, we had the satellite card.
There you go.
Until they started popping in.
Yeah, they had to send the bullets out for that. Wait a minute. Y'all watching this for free? No, we knew somebody. I knew somebody that worked in the cable company. There was no defeating that. As long as she worked there was no. And she worked there till I was in high school. And hell, by that point, everybody had a black box, so then you could figure it out on your own. Now we just watch via the Stephanie McMahon channel.
Yep. All right. So there is another part of this that I want to talk about real quick. I want to talk about the people out there that are pissed off that Cody is now the champ again.
Ooh.
Let's talk about these people that are pissed off.
The anti-crybabies?
It's actually part of the crybabies.
Oh, God.
Let's talk about this.
Y'all just can't never be happy.
No, we're divided now. It's kind of a civil war between these two groups.
So just like the American president. Oh, okay. Awesome.
Well,
I digress.
We talked about politics, but we ain't bringing politics in.
I mean, just the parallels are just strikingly odd.
So for those of the Cody crybabies that did not see Cody winning Friday night, are y'all even watching this program?
Yeah, I don't know who those people could be.
What? I mean, look, if the dirt sheets are true about Drew McIntyre, he was going to lose at Mania anyway.
Yeah, he was.
He's going off to go film Highlander.
Yeah, right. So yeah, it didn't like he was going to be around for one, and for two, they had zero storylines interesting for him going into Mania as champ.
Yeah.
There was nobody that you wanted to see him beat. Let's start there. There was nobody you expected him to beat at Mania. Nobody expected him to walk out as champ anyway. And the best that we could come up with, and I mean with many hours of crunching it down, was a three-way with him, with Cody and Jacob Fatu.
Yep. What
the hell, right? That if that's going to be the alternate main event to the Roman Punk match, well, hell, you might as well open the event with that.
So let's talk about this though real quick before we get on to our main topic. A lot of people are upset that Cody is now a 3-time WWE heavyweight champion.
Okay.
A lot of people are upset. They're like, man, they're cramming Cody down our throat. It's just Cody. Hello, John Cena. Hello, Triple H. Hello, Randy Orton at times.
Yeah, I mean,
everybody has been done this way. And they're like, oh, but they're hot potato in the belt. So what if it would have been Jacob standing across from Drew and Jacob won the belt?
Yeah, that would have been something completely fresh. So,
I mean, would y'all have been crying then? I mean,
so now I'm not a fan of hot potato in the belt either, but you got to remember when they did it, right? Drew got the win in his home country and got to defend the title in his home country. There's no better place to do it if you're Drew McIntyre, for one. For two, the belt's a prop. I mean, we can definitely get into who's the best wrestler in the world and who deserves the title and blah 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 blah. But at the end of the day, they're trying to figure out the best story they can get to go into WrestleMania. And if that requires the belt to change hands one time, so what?
So newsflash: the best wrestler to be on top for business usually isn't your best wrestler.
The hell, we've had this discussion
It's
before.
usually your best storyteller.
It's usually your best house drawer. Let's be honest.
Right. Who's going to draw
We've
the
all
most
contended
money?
this before, but at the end of the day, everybody's in this for money. Nobody picked up the activity of professional wrestling just to go out there and bang their bodies up. Nobody said, you know what? How many separated shoulders can I get in a lifetime? Let's go find out. Everybody did it at some point to get a paycheck and hopefully have a lot of zeros behind the end of it. So the man with the most zeros is the winner. And at the end of the day, that's what everybody's doing it for.
Yep.
We can love it. We as fans, we definitely love it. We ain't getting a dime out of podcaster for wrestling. We don't get paid for watching it yet, but that wasn't never the intention.
Right.
But at the end of but we're fans of it.
Right.
The people that are doing it may be fans of it too, but they started doing it for a completely different reason. And passion may be a big part of why they started. But when you hit WWE, you're looking at paycheck.
Yeah. I mean, that's at the end of the day, they're in it to make a livelihood, and that's all well and good. I'm never going to hold that over a wrestler's head going,
Absolutely
hey,
not.
Even the wrestlers, you're going, why the hell did y'all go back to AEW? Why would you do that? Dude, if you're going to get a better bag going to AEW and it helps your family, go. Like,
hell, Swerve did an interview just this week about that, and he said specifically, hey, I'm getting paid like a professional athlete because that's how the Khans operate business, because they're owner of the Jaguars. They know how to do. But all that aside, regardless of how they structure the pay, and he said guaranteed money and blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, let's call a spade a spade. Swerve wasn't going to be a top guy in WWE. He just wasn't. A lot of guys at AEW wasn't never going to be top guys at WWE. They just wasn't.
Adam Cole, Tommaso Ciampa.
Now, hell, even
no
Dean
way.
Ambrose, who reached the top, who was WWE champion, he saw his ceiling close up real quick after he lost that title and lost to Brock Lesnar the next year. The writing was on the wall. He's like, well, I had my run at the top. It wasn't the greatest. They're probably not going to do it again. I'm going to be a mid-carder. I'm getting the hell out of Dodge and going to make a whole lot of money somewhere else.
I can go make this money. I'm going to go make the money. And good on you.
Hell yeah. So, and as with everything, right, we just said, I just said, hey, we're not doing this for money. We don't make a dime doing this. We love our setup and everything as it is. Tomorrow, somebody comes here and offers us that 6-figure bag, all the shit changes.
Yep.
Everything changes. The format, the host,
the interest music, everything.
Right, where we lead up, whatever they want.
Yep.
So we're starting to start giving us your edicts. Tell us how you think we can make it better. We'll try it. We'll shit on it during the show, but we'll try it. But we're going to cash some checks.
Absolutely.
So go ahead and send that. Go ahead and challenge us if you think I'm lying. Go ahead and write us that check.
Write us
and
the money.
Right,
Come on.
see what we will or won't
Jerry
do.
Maguire, show me the money.
Exactly. Show me the money. See what we'll do. Hell, call our bluff.
All right, let's go over to our main topic. Just say sorry. Just say it. Say it.
It wouldn't hurt.
Say it.
Yeah.
Just say it.
But what happens if you say it and then you don't mean it? Yeah, so I mean...
There was an interesting story told at the end of Monday Night Raw, and I feel like we've got some interesting opinions on it.
Oh, do we?
So, to set the scenario, Roman and Punk had a conversation 2 weeks ago where basically Punk, would you call it a slander?
It was
disrespected.
weird, right? Yeah, it was definitely disrespectful. Yeah.
Disrespected the NOI family. Let's put it that way. Okay.
100%.
All right. So he basically told Roman that he was going to bury him alone next to his dead father. Mm-hmm. Now, even when I heard that in that moment, I'm like, that's disrespectful as hell.
Yeah,
dude.
so
that's not cool.
I want to use the word the young people are using now is cringe, right? Because I heard it, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah,
I'm
like, I hope he cleared that line with Roman. Behind the scenes, behind the curtain. I hope he cleared that line with Roman.
I really don't see a way where he didn't, simply because that is like reminiscent of the whole Charlotte Flair Tiffany thing. If you don't do so. Yeah. And I don't necessarily know that Punk's that guy that he would blatantly disrespect anybody like that, because that's pushing it, right? Because had that been me, there'd have been a conversation had right there. Yeah. They'd have been like, cameras are going 3, 2. I'd have been like, man, I'd have said like Rock said last year, man, F them cameras.
Yeah.
We about to have this talk here. Y'all can record it or not.
Had this been 2013 Punk, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe he might have went that direction and went off the shelf. But when he said that, so obviously that was very disrespectful, whether it be storyline or whether it be shoot, whichever, but disrespectful anyhow. So fast forward to this Monday night, the Usos, they got their own little thing going on. And they were about to leave the building, and then Jackie caught up with them. And
yeah, she did. And if Jackie catches up with you, going to stop.
You're going to stop.
Yeah, you're going to stop and have that conversation.
So they had a conversation with Jackie, and Jackie was like, y'all got anything to say to Punk? And Jimmy was like, yeah.
Yeah, he was like,
as a matter of fact, we do.
Yeah.
So they turn back around, don't leave the arena, go back in, and here we go. Here is your main event segment for Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
A promo.
Yeah.
We getting back to the cinema days, sir.
I mean, but this was a good damn promo.
It was very good. Very good.
Because I'll be honest, they had me hook, line, and sinker in that because I'm in there watching the promo and I'm like, if this motherfucker had said that to me, I also would have whooped that ass. So you know what I mean? When you got me feeling the emotion of it, I'm like, okay, I like what you're cooking here. So, keep going.
So you get Punk out in the middle of the ring. Punk. Sidebar conversation. Your promo game's falling off, bud. Step up.
I mean,
that promo was very.
So he's working with the perennial best in the business right now. I know he wants to be the best in the world, but let's call a spade a spade again.
That promo was weak.
Right. He's working opposite Roman Reigns. You can bring it as best as you got. Don't half-ass. I know Roman ain't in the building and you want to save it for face to face, but damn.
Punk is struggling when he's out there by himself. Put him against somebody though, across the ring from somebody, it amps up his game, right?
Yeah.
So that's exactly what they did. Here come the Usos. You had, what was the movie names for Glover and Gibson?
Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon. Yeah. What was their movie names? It was Riggs and
Murdoch.
Riggs and Murdoch.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I looked at Jimmy and Jay.
Okay, good cop, bad cop.
Good cop, bad cop. Because Jay was hot.
Yeah, he came out there ready to go to war. He was ready. He started off ready to fight.
He was ready to swing. So he basically gets out there and he's telling Punk this, that, and the other, and he's telling him, "Look, you need to say sorry.
Yeah,
just say sorry." And Punk's like, "For what?"
Yeah, he tried. Yeah, he acted like it was irrelevant to what he was dealing with.
He didn't know nothing, and then you could tell Jay wasn't gonna get it anywhere. Because Jay was hot.
Yeah, because Jay couldn't talk to him. Jay was already on 9s and he was just waiting to get to 10.
Couldn't do nothing, and then Punk, it was pushing Punk to that level, and it was starting to escalate. And then the good cop came in.
Yeah,
Jimmy kind of stood there on the mic and handled business, and I'm like, damn, they pushed the wrong Uso.
Yeah, so I sent you a thing about that, and I'm like, so when you watch the clips back and you realize who was the talker. So Jay had the energy. Jay got the yeet going. I'll be honest, it's a Triple H booking era. Jay's in better shape. So I get it when they're looking at which one to push. But when you look at the whole of when you look at the whole aspect of it, it's like, is Jimmy the better talker? Jimmy's kind of the better talker, right?
Yep.
As far as the wrestling and the look and all that would be Jay.
He's got the enthusiasm. He's got the sizzle.
Yeah, exactly. So I get it, but when you need somebody to talk, it probably shouldn't have separated those guys even during the Jay run. It wouldn't hurt to have maybe an injured Jimmy come out. Mm-hmm. I can't wrestle, but I got your back type thing and handle some of that talking. Yep. But I digress.
So they get into the conversation with Punk. Jimmy and Punk seems like they're going to come to a amicable kind of situation.
Yeah, they dapped up.
He's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
got to get the dap going, and then he looks at Jay. He's like, I'm sorry, and he daps up Jay, and he's like, I'm sorry that your cousin.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but.
And I'm like,
anytime there's a butt in there,
I was like, oh no, here we go. It's about to unravel. It's going to come apart. And this is where the promo came alive.
Yeah.
It came alive right here because Punk went off the rails on the Usos, basically saying the Usos are still being controlled by Roman and they're his young boys. Now, I don't know about you, but if me being 45, somebody looks at me and says, you're the young boy. That's fighting words. Well, you ain't gonna call me no young boy.
I mean, as far as the podcast went, I thought that was your role. I thought you knew that already, right?
All right, we scrapping. Let's go.
My bad. I didn't know everybody didn't know their role in these things, but okay. So now the Usos and Roman, they're the same age.
Yep.
So you ain't go young boy me now. If that's cousin, yeah, that's big cuz because he's the top dog. Right. Whatever. But hell, at the end, but I ain't no Aaron boy in this. You know what I'm saying? I'm former heavyweight champion of the world.
Right.
I'm the man. You ain't big dogging me in here right now, especially if you're seeing Punk.
Right.
Roman might have a different conversation because, I don't know what be scrapping in the backyard over there. But you ain't going to tell me I'm his. No, yeah. No. We ain't go. What we're not going to do is label me a backup or a second hand.
Yep.
No, hell no.
So obviously, Jay being hot as he already was, it didn't take much for that gasoline to ignite that fuse. No. And then, boom, next thing you know, Punk got laid out.
Yeah, well.
Punk got hit by Jay and then kicked by Jimmy, I believe.
But, so Punk hit Jay. And
okay,
then Jimmy, and then Jimmy popped off on him
as the big brother.
So again, now you done big dog Jimmy again over Jay in hell. Now what we not gonna do? But they do call him Big Jim.
That's right, okay. Big Jim.
But Big Jim 3 minutes older, right? So what we're not gonna do is call him the big brother. If I'm Jay,
he might be Big Daddy Jim before too long.
Hell, if Punk ain't careful, Big Key should be popping up in somewhere. I'm sure he's popping off on social media.
And you know what? I would not mind.
Yeah, so let's talk about that now. If Keish comes out there, I think he needs to get laid out. Because obviously Sika can't, so we got to bring an older one out there. Let Keish come out there. Let Keish take a belt to the head or something, and then the Usos have to run out there and defend. I can get down with that too. The problem is with Keish though is he's gonna spoil the whole damn thing on social before it even happens.
Y'all, I'm gonna be on Monday Night Raw.
The day that rumor gets signed, he gonna give the whole damn game plan away on social media, on Twitter. So hell, we can't. What we can't do is get into that.
Get Keish,
but
tell Keisha's friends and family tonight.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's the only way to get him there.
Nah, hell, don't tell him nothing. Don't come do it at the house. Hell, do that at the house.
Do it at the house.
Right. 20 minutes before airtime. Hell, don't give him no free time. Don't let him load up for nothing. No, hell with that. But no, I mean, and we always talk about when you bring some reality into it, you can get me interested in even the BS is a BS storyline. You can get me into it if you bring a little bit of reality in it. So when you start talking about a man's family and you start disrespecting a man's family, that brings enough reality in there. As you know, I lost my dad 10 years ago. If he started talking about my dad the way he was talking about Sika, hey, all of a sudden, I'm a little bit more invested in this whole thing, and I got a little bit more energy behind what I'm saying.
So let me ask this question then. So Punk laid out all of the scenarios throughout his career where he feels like he is adjacent to the Samoan family, right? Like, he was basically raised, in the indies by Alpha and Sika, wrestling for their promotions, for gas money and stuff, right? Do you think he felt so close he felt comfortable telling Roman that?
Yeah, so a lot of times, this is a different conversation for a different podcast, but a lot of times people will get close to you and they feel comfortable with saying certain things that ain't meant to be said, regardless of how close you may be or how comfortable you done got. Because you'll say something, call somebody a reference or something along them lines, and then that person's side eye look at you like, whoa, like, hit them brakes real quick. I need you to Brimbro it right now, because what we're not gonna do, and that's been
maybe that should be the title of the show. That's the theme of things. What we're not gonna do.
Yeah, what we're not gonna do is get that comfortable that you gonna find yourself getting swept, right? So we don't need that to happen. So we need to have established boundaries,
right?
And I'm not necessarily sure that. Well, I know Roman and Punk have them boundaries because Roman flat out told him, hey, I hate you. Right. So he shouldn't feel comfortable to say that to Roman. But he does feel comfortable enough to say that to the Usos. So maybe they need to look at themselves like, hey, what are we doing here? Who are we in bed with here? The fact that he feels comfortable enough around us to say this disrespectful stuff about us and our family. The last time somebody said something disrespectful about the Samoan family, Cody Rhodes got slapped right across the face.
He did.
And then lost at WrestleMania Night 1. So I need y'all to follow the big dog's footsteps. I need you to learn from your elders and say, hey, wait a minute, you don't talk about the family out here like this. Otherwise, you get your ass whooped.
Yep.
And that's what Jimmy gave him a little bit of, hey, you talked about our family and you don't want to apologize. Okay, well, then I'm going to have to put the pause on you, as Kevin Hart would say.
And see, that's the thing. Like, everybody was, in that moment, hell, it even got me. They got me good. They're like, Punk's going to apologize, because I kind of felt it coming. I was like, it's going to happen. And then he avoided it at every turn, skated around it, worked this way, that way, the other way. And I'm like, damn, he's not going to apologize.
You know what he did instead of apologizing?
What's that?
Punk did the same damn thing he's been doing for the last 20 damn years on WWE TV. And I'm here to tell you, I am sick of that shit. I have heard enough.
Right.
Quit your bitching. That's what we going to talk about right now.
Let's bite into this juicy fruit.
20 years of CM Punk's career on WWE TV, on AEW TV, on podcasts, on any damn platform that would, UFC for God's sake, anywhere that would entertain this man's voice. I have listened to him complaining and bitching and moaning and whining about somebody on top holding him down. And this is a Chicago brother. This is say we're the same age, from the same area in town. Well, he's from the north side. I don't know, white kids, but that's a little different. I digress on that.
Okay,
but nonetheless,
I'll trust you on that.
Right, nonetheless, it's the premise of. But 20 damn years, when he first came into ECW, all he said was, the machine, they're holding me down, and I have to do all I can to get ahead. Somehow or another, he became ECW champ. He went to the main roster, WWE Raw, the big show, the hottest ticket on the planet. All he did was, they're holding me down. They won't let me do anything. I can't do anything. Wins Money in the Bank, wins World Heavyweight Championship.
Took away his ice cream sandwich.
Everything, but he wins Money in the Bank, wins World Heavyweight Championship. Then they move him over to the other show, and they move the other title. They switch the titles around. They put the WWE Championship on Raw. First thing CM Punk said, John Cena, they're holding me down. Vince and the old man and Stephanie and the doofus son-in-law and blah, 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 blah. What does he get for his troubles? He gets the WWE Championship. Hell on his shoulder, WWE Champion. Moans and groans his way through a title run, has to lose to a Samoan, by the way, but I digress. Has to lose. A couple of months later, he's out of here. Just can't handle. He had to lose, and he had to wrestle. God forbid you wrestle The Undertaker at WrestleMania, because that's a demotion. But that was his gripe, and he took off and left. Disappears for however long or whatnot, comes back to wrestling, right? Comes back to AEW. First thing they do is get his motherfucker the World Heavyweight Championship again.
True.
And what does he do when he gets it? Starts bitching and moaning about how the executive vice presidents are holding him down and they don't like him and blah, blah, blah. And then he beats up Jack Perry. Out of all the people you gonna beat up in the back. Now you done woofed and talked all this trash to Triple H and all these other guys. Now you done beat up Jungle Boy Jack Perry in the back. That's how you establish your UFC manhood. But all of the while, still bitching him on, they're holding me down, blah, blah, blah. Heavyweight champion on the way out the door. That man still got their belt holding up in the closet somewhere.
With an X painted on it.
Hiding out in the closet somewhere. Comes to WWE. The first thing he does when he gets there, I'm home. The place that loved me, the place that built me. What the hell? Okay, I give it whatever, right? That lasted about a year.
Yeah.
After about a year, all of a sudden, they're holding me down. They won't let me get ahead. Nobody. What do? They give him the World Heavyweight Championship. Holy hell. And then a month after becoming champion, the first thing he comes out and says is, Roman and the Machine, they're coming in, they're going to hold me down, and I'm the best in the world. And give me a damn break. 20 years of this, and we ain't got nothing better to say than somebody's holding them down while continuously holding a World Heavyweight Championship. Stop.
All right, let's lean into this conversation because I got some points to counter back at you.
All right, well, I gave you a lot there. I warned you it was going to be a rant. I had to get that off my chest.
Let's lean into it. I'm going to lean into it by starting off by saying I don't disagree with you, sir.
Well, I appreciate that.
Don't disagree with you, but I do have some other viewpoints on it.
Okay.
All right, so CM Punk. Would you say his actions are very punk-ish?
When he was 28, yes. When he's 48, now he's CM Gramps, right?
CM Gramps.
See, I need CM Gramps to just accept what he is.
Some people from that punk era don't want to let go of the old ways.
Yeah,
so they're gonna be a punk until they die. Right?
That's punk. That's
punk.
Phil Brooks.
All right, well, hold on.
A party of one.
It's funny you mentioned Phil Brooks. Okay, so you just said everything to me that sums up CM Punk's character. He's a punk. He's gonna bitch, moan, and whine to get his way. He's a punk, right?
Yeah.
That's what he does. They're not calling him CM Punk.
No,
Roman is referencing him as Phil.
Yeah.
Jimmy and Jay referenced him Monday night as Phil.
Yeah.
Are we starting to see maybe it's not CM Punk that's bitching, moaning, and complaining? Maybe they're pointing out to the realism that it's Phil Brooks.
Now you're getting there.
Bitching and
Now
moaning
you
and
understand.
complaining.
Yeah, and I think Jericho said it best. Any character that doesn't evolve over a couple of years is stale and stagnant. Well, what you're telling me is CM Punk's been the same character exactly for 20 damn years.
Pretty much.
But it's led to a multitude of success for him.
True.
So it's not the character. It's never been the character. It's always been you. If Phil Brooks, it's always been you.
Oof. All right, Phil. We challenge you. If you got a rebuttal to that, hit us up. Let us know.
So hold on. So hit us up respectfully though, because I'm not the Usos. I ain't Roman. I ain't all payroll. I will whoop that ass up and down Halston Street. Don't get it twisted. Don't let yourself get it. Don't write a check. Your ass can't cash.
So the North Carolinians just gonna sit on the sideline.
This is Southside Chicago stuff right here. So yeah, and he know we don't play on the South Side. So you tell that Northern boy that he better get upside on the other side of Cermak. Otherwise, he got that ass whooping coming. So don't get it twisted.
This is some interesting conversation, and I really like the fact that you're pointing out a couple of the things that is happening with CM Punk, whether it be shoot, whether it be work. Because one of the things that is apparent right now, CM Punk's character, when it worked the best, when he came out there and did the pipe bomb promo, right? Mm-hmm. That pipe bomb, he was carrying around the moniker of the voice of the voiceless.
Yeah. And
they told him Monday night, hey, you spoke some ish about my uncle.
Yeah,
and
who is the voice?
He has no voice. Mm-hmm. And as soon as that line came out, everything within me went, I'm invested.
Yeah.
Now I'm here.
And the fact that Jimmy said it, because again, I don't think Jay could have got that line out with the same effect that it had.
Yep.
Because again, Jay is, 10 degrees above, temperature, to whereas Jimmy can hit you cool and calm.
So in the moment when this feud first started building and we knew it was going to be Punk versus Roman, when it was building and building and building, I sat back as a fan going, I don't got a dog in this hunt. I like them both.
Yeah, right. I just kind of want to see where we're going.
I just want to see where we're going.
Yeah.
Now I do have a dog in the hunt.
Yeah.
I want to see Roman beat that ass.
Yeah, and I'm right there with you. And that's wild for me to say, because if you go back in the archives only maybe 6 weeks ago, I was all for the Chicago guy. Now, I didn't want him to beat Roman because, let's be honest, I knew it wasn't realistic. And I don't find myself wanting things that I'm never going to have.
Right.
And CM Punk beating Roman Reigns at WrestleMania and something I was going to get, so there wasn't no point in me starting to want it because it wasn't going to happen.
But let me say this. Here's where you know you're a wrestling fan, because I realized I just got worked.
Yeah.
I realized it.
Yeah, they wanted you invested.
I had no dog in the hunt.
Yeah, they wanted you
invested.
invested.
And now you got me 100% invested.
Well, and this is the point of having two top guys main event your WrestleMania, right?
Yep.
This is the point of having the two biggest stars you got in your company at the time on the same show to have these interactions, because they can both talk you into the match where you may not have been invested before. A month ago, I think you were saying, hey, 2 months ago, let's say Royal Rumble time, you were saying, hey, I want to see Cody Roman 3. And I'm like, oof. Will the marquee be big? Yes. Will the Crown Royal marquee? Will the marquee be big? Will the named? Yeah, because it's really your two top guys.
Right.
But I remember asking, I said, what story are they going to get me involved with to want to see that? And you said they don't need a story. They just need those two guys. For those two guys, they probably do. For everybody else, you got to give me some story.
You got to give me some story.
Yeah, there's got to be some meat on the bone for me to get attached to. Otherwise, I'm ready to hang it up. So the fact that they found a way to get me invested that I wasn't expecting, it's the little ounce of unpredictability they got, and they found it and they exploited it. Kudos.
Golf clap.
I give you credit for that one.
All right. So we got some interesting thoughts this week. Very good conversation. don't let the conversation end with the podcast. Reach out on our social media platforms. Drop us some lines. Let us know what you're thinking.
Yeah, because we'll talk to you now.
Absolutely. This is WrestleMania season. This is where shit's supposed to start getting good.
Yeah.
So if it's going to get good, let's talk about it.
All right. We'll talk to you now.
All right. Thank you for listening to today's show, everybody. We appreciate what you do. And with that, everybody, we bid you adieu.
Peace. I think next week we're going to hear about Larry.
Today's podcast was produced by SBP. You can find our podcast on all major podcast platforms. Also, connect with us on our social media accounts. Search for The Bookers Alliance on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X.